Hi everyone, welcome back to Bible in a Year. My name is Natalie and we are reading the Bible cover to cover this year. Today we're going to be starting chapter 9. If you're just joining us, that is okay. Your Bible in a Year starts today. And then you'll just, instead of ending on 365, you'll end on day 9. That's okay, no big deal. I hope everybody's doing well today. Today we're going to be reading out of Genesis 9, and we are going to be starting the book of Nehemiah, chapters 1 and 2, and then we're going to be reading Luke 4, but only verses 31 to 44, and then we'll close it out with Psalm 9, and those verses are only 1 through 8. So let's get started in Genesis 9. If I remember correctly, we're talking about Noah. God blessed Noah and his sons and said to them, "Be fruitful, multiply, and replenish the earth. The fear of you and the dread of you will be on every animal of the earth, and on every bird of the sky. Everything that moves along the ground and all the flesh of the sea are delivered into your hand. Every moving thing that lives will be food for you. As I gave you the green herb, I have given everything to you. But flesh with its life, that is, its blood, you shall not eat. I will surely require accounting for your life's blood. At the hand of every animal I will require it. At the hand of man, even at the hand of every man's brother, I will require the life of man. Whoever sheds man's blood, his blood will be shed by man. For God made man in his own image. Be fruitful and multiply. Increase abundantly in the earth and multiply in it." God spoke to Noah and to his sons with him, saying, "As for me, behold, I establish my covenant with you and with your offspring after you, and with every living creature that is with you, the birds, the livestock, and every animal of the earth with you. Of all that go out of the ship, even every animal of the earth. I will establish my covenant with you. All flesh will not be cut off any more by the waters of the flood. There will never again be a flood to destroy the earth," God said. "This is the token of the covenant which I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you for perpetual generations. I set my rainbow in the cloud, and it will be a sign of a covenant between me and the earth. When I bring a cloud over the earth, that the rainbow will be seen in the cloud. I will remember my covenant, which is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh, and the waters will no more become a flood to destroy all flesh." The rainbow will be in the cloud. I will look at it, that I may remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all flesh that is on the earth. God said to Noah, "This is the token of the covenant which I have established between me and all flesh that is on the earth." The sons of Noah who went out from the ship were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Ham is the father of Canaan. These three were the sons of Noah, and from these the whole earth was populated. Noah began to be a farmer and planted a vineyard. He drank of the wine and got drunk. He was uncovered within his tent. Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father and told his two brothers outside. Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it on both their shoulders, went in backwards, and covered the nakedness of their father. Their faces were backwards, and they didn't see their father's nakedness. Noah awoke from his wine and knew what his youngest son had done to him. He said, "Canaan is cursed. He will be a servant of servants to his brothers. He said, "Blessed be Yahweh, the God of Shem. Let Canaan be his servant. May God enlarge Japheth. Let him dwell in the tents of Shem. Let Canaan be his servant." Noah lived 350 years after the flood. All the days of Noah were 950 years, and then he died. So might I add that sometimes little things pop up in Scripture that you're just reading along, da, 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 and then all of a sudden Noah is drunk and naked. So sometimes we just kind of come across these things, and at least for me, I'm kind of trying to catch up or switch speeds or something like that. But yeah, Noah liked wine. So now we're going to move on to Nehemiah chapter 1 and 2. Noah. I'm going to be laughing about that all day today. All right, Nehemiah chapter 1 and 2. The words of Nehemiah, the son of Hakaliah. Now in the month Chislev, in the 20th year, as I was in Susa the palace, Hanani, one of my brothers, came. He and certain men out of Judah, and I asked them about the Jews who had escaped, who were left of the captivity, and concerning Jerusalem. They said to me, "The remnant who are left of the captivity there in the province are in great affliction and reproach. The wall of Jerusalem is also broken down, and its gates are burned with fire." When I heard these words, I sat down and wept, and mourned several days. And I fasted and prayed before the God of heaven, and I said, "I beg you, Yahweh, the God of heaven, the great and awesome God, who keeps covenant and loving kindness with those who love him and keep his commandments. Let your ear now be attentive and your eyes open, that you may listen to the prayer of your servant, which I pray before you at this time, day and night, for the children of Israel, your servants. While I confess the sins of the children of Israel, which we have sinned against you. Yes, I and my father's house have sinned. We have dealt very corruptly against you, and have not kept the commandments, nor the statutes, nor the ordinances, which you commanded your servant Moses. Remember, I beg you, the word that you commanded your servant Moses, saying, 'If you trespass, I will scatter you among the peoples. But if you return to me and keep my commandments and do them, though your outcasts were in the uttermost part of the heavens, yet I will gather them from there and will bring them to the place that I have chosen to cause my name to dwell there.' Now these are your servants and your people, whom you have redeemed by your great power and by your strong hand. Lord, I beg you, let your ear be attentive now to the prayer of your servant, and to the prayer of your servants who delight to fear your name. And please prosper your servant today and grant him mercy in the sight of this man." Now I was cupbearer to the king. Chapter 2. In the month Nisan, in the 20th year of Artaxerxes the king, when wine was before him, I picked up the wine and gave it to the king. Now I had not been sad before in his presence. The king said to me, "Why is your face sad, since you are not sick? This is nothing else but sorrow of heart." Then I was very much afraid. I said to the king, "Let the king live forever. Why shouldn't my face be sad when the city, the place of my father's tombs, lies waste, and its gates have been consumed with fire?" Then the king said to me, "What is your request?" So I prayed to the God of heaven. I said to the king, "If it pleases the king, and if your servant has found favor in your sight, I ask that you would send me to Judah, to the city of my father's tombs, that I may build it." The king said to me, the queen was also sitting by him, "How long will your journey be? When will you return?" So it pleased the king to send me, and I sent the time for him. Moreover, I said to the king, "If it pleases the king, let letters be given to me to the governors beyond the river, that they may let me pass through until I come to Judah, and a letter to Asaph, the keeper of the king's forest, that he may give me timber to make beams for the gates of the citadel by the temple, for the wall of the city, and for the house that I will occupy." The king granted my request because of the good hands of my God on me. Then I came to the governors beyond the river and gave them the king's letters. Now the king had sent captains of the army and horsemen with me. When Sanballat the Horonite and Tobiah the Ammonite servant heard of it, it grieved them exceedingly, because a man had come to seek the welfare of the children of Israel. So I came to Jerusalem and was there 3 days. I arose in the night, I and a few men with me. I didn't tell anyone what my God put into my heart to do for Jerusalem. There wasn't any animal with me except the animal that I rode on. I went out by night by the valley gate toward the Jackal's Well, then to the Dung Gate, and I inspected the walls of Jerusalem, which were broken down, and its gates were consumed with fire. Then I went on to the Spring Gate and to the King's Pool, but there was no place for the animal that was under me to pass. Then I went up in the night by the brook and inspected the wall, and I turned back and entered by the valley gate, and so returned. The rulers didn't know where I went or what I did. I had not as yet told it to the Jews, nor to the priests, nor to the nobles, nor to the rulers, nor to the rest who did the work. Then I said to them, "You see the bad situation that we are in, how Jerusalem lies waste and its gates are burned with fire? Come, let's build up the wall of Jerusalem, that we won't be disgraced." I told them about the hand of my God, which was good on me, and also about the king's words that he had spoken to me. They said, "Let's rise up and build." So they strengthened their hands for the good work. But when Sanballat the Horonite, Tobiah the Ammonite servant, and Geshem the Arabian heard it, they ridiculed us and despised us, and said, "What is this thing that you're doing? Will you rebel against the king?" Then I answered them and said, "The God of heaven will prosper us. Therefore, we, his servants, will rise and build, but you have no portion, nor right, nor memorial in Jerusalem." So that's Nehemiah chapter 1 and 2. Just think about it when we just pray to God, when things are stacked against us, when it doesn't seem like we're able to accomplish what we really feel needs to be accomplished, and how we can just really go into that space between your spirit and the Lord and really have that conversation, and how he opens the doors to get things done. Sometimes he's the only way to get things done. Luke chapter 4, verses 31 through 44. Let's see, it starts with he came down to Capernaum. He came down to Capernaum, a city of Galilee, Jesus. He was teaching them on the Sabbath day, and they were astonished at his teaching, for his word was with authority. In the synagogue there was a man who had a spirit of an unclean demon, and he cried out with a loud voice, saying, "Ah, what have we to do with you, Jesus of Nazareth? Have you come to destroy us? I know who you are, the Holy One of God." Jesus rebuked him, saying, "Be silent and come out of him." When the demon had thrown him down in the middle of them, he came out of him, having done him no harm. Amazement came on all, and they spoke together, one with another, saying, "What is this word? For with authority and power he commands the unclean spirits, and they come out." News about him went out into every place of the surrounding region. He rose up from the synagogue and entered into Simon's house. Simon's mother-in-law was afflicted with a great fever, and they begged him to help her. He stood over her and rebuked the fever, and it left her. Immediately she rose up and served them. When the sun was setting, all those who had any sick with various diseases brought them to him, and he laid his hands on every one of them and healed them. Demons also came out of many, crying out and saying, "You are the Christ, the Son of God." Rebuking them, he didn't allow them to speak, because they knew that he was the Christ. When it was day, he departed and went into the uninhabited place, and the multitudes looked for him and came with him and held on to him so that he wouldn't go away from them. But he said to them, "I must preach the good news of God's kingdom to the other cities also. For this reason I have been sent." He was preaching in the synagogues of Galilee. So I wonder what it was like when, before Jesus started healing. And, we didn't have a lot of medicines. We didn't have, hospital care and health insurance. To have a family member so ill with a fever, and all you can do is grab a cold towel and maybe some herbs, just do whatever you can, and the fever is just not coming down. And then all of a sudden there is this man, this preacher, this teacher that just touches people and they're healed. He just commands, "You evil spirit, get out of here." What a remarkable day that would be to witness that. A lot of times I just like to put myself in real time, walking in the same dirt Jesus walked. And what would I have seen? It's just absolutely remarkable. A lot of times we get wrapped up that these are just stories, like Mother Goose or something. They're just stories read over and over again. This is history. This is proven to be true. So I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm really chatty today. All right, here we go to Psalm chapter 9, verse 1 and 8 through 8. Now this was for the chief musician, set to the death of the Son, a psalm by David. I will give thanks to Yahweh with my whole heart. I will tell of all your marvelous works. I will be glad and rejoice in you. I will sing praise to your name, O Most High. When my enemies turn back, they stumble and perish in your presence. For you have maintained my just cause. You sit on the throne judging righteously. You have rebuked the nations. You have destroyed the wicked. You have blotted out their names forever and ever. The enemy is overtaken by endless ruin, and the very memory of the cities which you have overthrown has perished. But Yahweh reigns forever. He has prepared his throne for judgment. All right, folks, that concludes our day 9. I am so thankful that you were here and got to start Nehemiah with us. I hope you all have just the best day today. Think about the words that we read and how you can use them in your life today. And we will see you tomorrow for day 10. Have a great day. Bye.